Spain. I mean, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about some spray painting. I mean, so these are Montana Blacks. These are the hardcores. These are Rustos, right? And these right here are Montana's Blacks, the long joints. Rust-Oleums, long joints. Now, why out of so many spray paint I'm using this? Let's say, for example, I want to go outside in the streets and I want to catch some Jesus Saves permanent, long-lasting, and durable tags. This is the number one right here. Rust-Oleums can last good if they don't paint the walls. It can last a good almost up to 30 years. Of course, it's gonna fade. It fades, but you can still see it. Not like some spray paint that you catch a tag and all of a sudden, like, your tag is completely gone. You're like, wait a minute, did I run on that? Where did it go? It completely like disappears. These don't disappear. They fade just about 30%, but it'll still look like you caught it a couple of years ago. So Rust-Oleums is the number one for the fact that it's durable when it comes to weatherproof, rainproof, outside proof. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing indoors and tunnels. It will last, bro, a lifetime, maybe over 100 years. Rust-Oleums, number one. I know I said something about spray painting outside with these, but this is my choice right here. This is what I spray paint with when I go outside. So if you ever see some Jesus Saves tags, this is what I use outside. That means that I hit up anything. I hit up walls. No clean trucks and vans, but if I see graffiti, of course, just hit up anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I can, you know. And everything that, don't go for clean properties, bro, because that's a violation. To me, it's a crime, and you don't want to hit clean property ever. But now, if you see a lot of graffiti, and you know it's gonna rock there for a very long time, this is the bad boy to use. This is the best to use. And something similar that will come in second place after Rust-Oleum, Krylons. Krylons are good too. I don't got no Krylon cans, but I got something that's a little compatible to Krylon and Rust-Oleums, and I'm gonna show you right now. Boom, the Montana Black. But before I get into the Montana Black, I gotta show you something real quick. The Montana Hardcores is what I use. So like, let's say for example, you see a nice Jesus Saves piece, like, oh wow, I did a beautiful piece, like a crazy color scheme, and it looks hot and whatever. This is one of the best to use. You want to use a hardcore Montana, because let's say you do something outside, and it could probably last a little bit over 10 years, I would say. So this is the best way to go out. Okay, Hardcores Montana. There we go. So these are pretty good. They're not bad. Now, like I said, you don't want to catch tags with these because, I don't know, yeah, everybody will see your work. Well, maybe let's say you want to hit a spot and it's faded after like a couple of years, maybe 10 or 15 years. I don't know, but they last. These are good. I'm not saying they cheap. Montana is one of the best spray paint brand ever. So, most definitely. Now, I know I spoke about this and I spoke about these, but the thing is that when it comes to tunnels or indoors, I like using these. The reason why Rustos are all the same is because I say they're the same brand, like the professional, because they are, and Rusto's the number one. But guess what? These are good. I got black and silver because this is what I use for the tunnels, and it will last forever. I could die, and 50 years after my death, it'll always rock. Always. These. Now, I told you about the hardcores. They're good. The Montana hardcores are good paint. They can rock, and they will, but it's all about long lasting, permanent, durability. So guess what? I came to find out, and I've done my research, that Montana Blacks is the number one. Okay, let's put the number one true spray paint on the side when it comes to durable, permanent, when it comes to long lasting. Let's put that to the side. Of course, we know that Rustos and Krylon is, it's the most strongest paint that can last over 30 years, of course. But what I want to tell you is that let's put Rustos and Krylon to the side. Now, when it comes to all these cans like Iron Lang, Beltones, Montanas, Cobras, and I don't know, they got some other cans, Double A's. You got the Danks, you got Beltones, I don't know. You got so many cans out there, the Loops, you got so many spray paint brands out there. And you're like, man, they're all good, but they're good for pieces, of course. But come to find out, I've done my research and come to find out that the Montana Black, it goes hand in hand with Rustos and Krylons when it comes to being permanent, durable, and longevity, long lasting. This will last. This will last. So what do? I would use these as well with the Rust-Oleums to catch a Jesus Saves tag, because I know for a fact that I could catch a tag on a specific wall that's not going to be touched for many years, like a factory or whatever, an abandoned factory that's not going to be touched, that's forgotten about, and I know I could come back in 30 years and my stuff will still be up. Only with this and with this. You understand? Now, the Montana Black, this is the long joint because I use these, and I got a silver one too, but I'm too lazy to go for it. But anyways, these are the number one and the best when it comes to indoors, when it comes to tunnels, you know what I mean? So, like, let's say I want to hit the Freedom Tunnels, Subway Tunnels, whatever, the NYC Subway Tunnels. This is the best thing to use. And the good thing is that it's also the best thing to use when you go outside as well and catch tags. So let's say I'm going to a tunnel, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use, this is for the streets, but I'm gonna use these for the fact that this is still Rust-Oleums, and this is a Montana Black, and it's both super duper permanent, durable, and long lasting when it comes to indoors as well, and tunnels and hallways, even abandoned buildings. Let's say abandoned freight yards. You want to use these. Well, you want to use these for indoors, and you want to use these for the outside. But you can also use this one too, not only for indoors. But you definitely need this for outside for a longer lasting tag, and this one as well for a durable and a longer lasting tag as well. Hand in hand, like I said earlier, with Rustos and Krylon, okay? I don't got no Krylons, but I know that between Rusto and Krylon, Rusto's the number one. Everybody knows that. If you're a graffiti writer and you know about, especially if you're old school, of course, Krylon was big, but everybody knows that Rust-Oleum is the number one spray paint out of all. Okay? And mind you that back in the 80s and 90s, Well, these came out in the 90s, but still, like. Alright, so little history for you guys. Peace and blessings, alright? Shout out to Misty, thank you for recording. My wife, love you. And I say peace. I don't care how beautiful, how nice a marker or a spray paint writes. Like, oh wow, it looks nice, it's juicy. Who cares about that? Don't fall for that trick and for those lies. You hear what I'm saying? Because you can catch a tag. Oh wow, it looks nice, it's beautiful. Oh wow, my stuff looks hot. You could use a spray paint. Oh wow, look, I love the way my tag looks, or my fills, or whatever looks. But guess what? It doesn't matter how beautiful, how nice it writes. Low pressure, high pressure, who cares about that? It's all about durability. How permanent wise it is. Alright? It's all about long lasting artwork, graffiti. It's all about long lasting graffiti. And you can come back in 30 years or whatever, and your stuff, you can still see your stuff. It might look faded, but you will still see it because the paint is strong. The ink, well, not ink, because there's no ink that lasts, but a paint marker that'll last. That's what it's all about. It's all about longevity. At the end of the day, it's not about how nice it looks, how beautiful it rides, or whatever. All right, just get that straight.